Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about DC and some shit he said on the Luke Thomas show. Talking about how, Jon Jones was on steroids his whole career and all that bullshit. And before I get into that, man, I just got to say, yo, fucking shout out to everybody that's just been commenting on my last video. And, it just feels like, it feels I'm fucking happy because that shit feels like the community that we had. You know what I mean? That community feels still there. So I don't even fucking miss the channel, man. And and now we're having more great content coming from people. So we just have fucking a network of a legit MMA community where we talk the shit we want to talk. That's some real shit. That has Nate Diaz is that real shit, motherfucker. That street shit, that ninja shit. American Ninja, Irish Ninja, all that shit, man. And, yeah, dude, that shit threw me off my train of thought. What the fuck? Yeah, so, and then we actually build in, a real community where we don't have to worry about censoring ourselves. And not even on anything big, just in the sense of, how it was on the other channel, dude. If I ask the date, this guy might think I'm a troll. Nah, there's none of that here, and there's none of that on the other channels that are coming up, man. This is the new shit. This is the new era, the upper echelon of premium that real fucking premium high quality shit that's free. Because you know why? Guess why, motherfucker? Because that real upper echelon shit is priceless. Yo, I'm not even calling this shit free anymore, dog. I'm calling this shit priceless, because that's how we roll. This shit is priceless, man. We're not charging. We're not. You guys keep your money. Spend your money better. Spend your money on yourselves. Enjoy that shit. This is that priceless premium content. Anyway, I'm getting a little out of there. But shout out to everyone, man. Fucking Notorious Double Champ, CJ Pradia, everyone in the comments, man. Anyone wants to get on a collabo video, I'm fucking down. We need to make that shit happen, and we gotta get this thing going, man. Straight up, the death of a bitch channel creates the fucking spawning of a million real ones. So it's all good, man. And back to the video, back to the motherfucking topic at hand. DC. Dude, I was just looking at this article, and then as I was scrolling up, it just pans to DC's bitch ass face, making this stupid ass face. And if you guys don't know my stance on DC, I do not like DC, and that's why I'm being this way. I don't like DC. I hope he's in the back somewhere crying on Cain Velasquez's shoulder. And yeah, man, that's why I mean, if you look at my videos, if you see some videos I put up in the past, I kind of get into it a lot why I don't like DC, because especially around the time when I started the channel, it was right when Jon Jones came back and that buildup was happening. So my opinions are out there. But just to wrap it up real quick and give a synopsis of why I just think he's corny, man. Straight up, he's corny and he's pretentious, and I don't know, man. He just seems like he's one of those motherfuckers that will make a joke that no one will laugh at, and he'll be like, ha, 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 entertained by himself, and he thinks he's a stand-up comedian. He thinks he's the funniest dude in the crew. And this is just my opinion. I can't verify this at all. But I feel like DC was the dude in high school or whatever, in college or wherever, that was the fucking loser, man. He was ostracized. I shouldn't say loser, but I feel like he was ostracized. He wasn't cool enough to fit into the social circles, and then because of that, he developed a distaste to anyone who's deemed as popular. And that's what he's trying to claim, I don't go, I'm not fucking partying like you, Jon Jones. I'm fucking with my wife, with my kids. I'm a family man. I'm your Olympic champion, John. I'm your Olympic champion, John. I'm an NCAA champion, John. And he talks all that shit. And he tries to act like he's holier than thou, but like, dude, I think fact of the matter is no one rocks with you like that, bro. Like, yo, think about it. If it's like Friday night, you just picked up a bottle, you just re-up, you're ready to go out, ready to have some fun, and then you're hitting up your homies like, yo, what's good? What are you doing tonight? And you're scrolling through your contacts, and then you see Daniel Cormier. Is that motherfucker the type of dude that you'd hit up to go out with? Is that the type of guy that you'd hang out with or talk to? I mean, me personally, I wouldn't. I don't find him funny or entertaining, or I don't find anything he has to say really that great. You know what I mean? Like, there are people that you like fucking Dominic Cruz, for example, man. Like, he is one of my favorite fighters, and not only because of his fighting style and like his IQ that's on like and all that shit. We all know how elite Dominic Cruz is. But what really makes me rock with Dom is that, bro, his mental, like when he speaks, his philosophies, his mindset. I find it, dude, I relate like a lot with Dom. So that really makes me rock with him. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't get any of that from DC. And, you know, it's just like, for someone that like, claims to be so good and such a family man and on such a moral high ground, I feel like if you really were that person, you wouldn't have fucking floated on a towel. You wouldn't have been floating on a motherfucking towel. You would have seen that your weight wasn't those 1.5 pounds or whatever, wasn't 1.2 pounds or whatever, wasn't coming off, and you would have been like, fuck, I might get stripped. I have to deal with it. Because guess what, man? That's what an honest person would do. They would face the music. So that shit right there made me not like DC even more. And then when he was asked about it, man, like he wasn't even really remorseful. He was like, yeah, I had to do what I had to do. That was his attitude about it. So it's like, yo, get the fuck out of here with that shit, DC, man. Like, it's just corny, man. It's corny as shit. And that's just like a quick wrap up why I don't like him. Now into the comments of what he said to Luke Thomas. He went on Wednesday and he said, "These things are so public, Luke. These instances are so public. If he was doing all the stuff to himself and by himself and not affecting people, I probably wouldn't say anything. But his indiscretions and mess-ups have greatly injured my career, too. The way I'm perceived, a lot of people may say, well, you never would have been a champion if you didn't do those things. Maybe you would have beat me again, but we would have fought already to decide that." I don't know if you guys didn't understand that last part. He said maybe he would have beat me again, but we would have fought already to decide that. And whose motherfucking fault is that? This is the shit that is pissing me off because people aren't even remembering. People blame Jon Jones for UFC 200 and all that shit. And yada and whatever, man. Like, people told, like, you know, a lot of perception changed on Jon Jones after that because of how bummed we were the main event fell out and then that card ended up being shit. But if you think about it, dude, that never would have happened if DC just showed up in the first place. If he just showed up in August, I mean, in fucking April when Jones fought OSP, it wouldn't have been DC John at 200. That shit would have been done and wrapped up, man. So then that means, all right, then John wouldn't have been in a training camp, and then he wouldn't have gotten in-camp tested when he was on Cialis or whatever, and we wouldn't have gotten that tainted supplement. The whole thing, regardless, the root of it is Daniel. Because, especially when he's saying we would have fought already to decide that. But the only reason it fell out in UFC 200 is because you didn't show up at UFC 197. Straight up, man. That's the only reason why shit didn't pan out. It would have been done. It would have been over. He would have been retired. He would have been Fox analyst already full time. But nah, he's been holding on to the belt. And then another fucking reason why I don't like this guy. He pulled out at 197, and then we all knew his plan was to try to get on to 200 to headline that as my name is the first on the marquee. My name's the first on the marquee, Ariel. You see that? It reads Cormier Jones 2. I'm the first on the marquee. So that's all he wanted, and that's all he tell his kids and his grandkids, and because he's not someone to brag on accomplishments. He's someone to brag about getting to the opportunity of accomplishing something great. Because Jon Jones said, bro, like, this guy's not shit, man. Like, people big him up so much, but he didn't win NCAAs. He didn't win the Olympics. And he didn't fucking beat me. So what are we talking about this guy? You know what DC said? Hey, I've been to the NCAA. Hey, John, I've been to the NCAA, young man. I've been to the Olympics, young man. Where have you been, John? You've been doing cocaine and strippers. And just like responding stupid as a motherfucker, man. Like, and back to the point. I'm getting a little fucking out of where I was going to. Then GSP comes on UFC tonight. And GSP says, we're negotiating. My goal is UFC 206. UFC 206 is in Toronto, right? Yeah, UFC 206 is in Toronto. So I wanna headline that. That's what he said. And then Cormier is like, so are we saying we can expect George back in the octagon? Is that what you're saying, young man? And then GSP's like, yeah, like that's my goal, man. Like I'm in USADA, like we're negotiating. That's my goal to be on that card. And you should have seen how giddy this motherfucker was, like all like fucking like jittering and like all jiggly and shit with jubilance. And it's like, and then shit fell through. Negotiations fell through. And then but after that, wait. Let me backtrack. And then after GSP said that he's aiming to be on Toronto, look at that. Guess who magically decided to get onto the Toronto card against AJ? Yep. And then negotiations fell through, and then shit didn't go the way, and then Dana White came onto UFC tonight. And he's like, hey, boss, I need to ask. On the website, it says me and AJ are the co-main event. Boss, are you hiding something from us? Is there something you need to tell me? Am I going to get an exclusive on UFC tonight? And Dana's like, yeah, I can't even tell you how much problems I have with the website. No, GSP will not be on this card. You and AJ will be the headline. And then guess who pulled out of the fight? He could be injured. I may be wrong. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't do a training camp with him. But I mean, like, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, man. That's what it seems like to me. Because it smelling like fucking Bourbon Street with all that piss that he's spewing, man. Like, nah, man, get out of here. And yes, that was a Louisiana reference for DC's ass. Nah, man, get out of here with that. So You can't pull. DC cannot pull that. DC cannot pull. If it wasn't for Jon Jones, we would have fought already. If it wasn't for you, the shit would have been done at 197. End of story on that. And then he was saying, but even though I'm champion, because of the thing he's done to me, because of the thing this young man has done to me, to get into that situation, people never really truly respect me as they should. Not only are they not respecting me as they should, they're discrediting everything I've done, so it's not off limits. He's saying it's not off limits to talk about drug addiction because it's viewed as a disease. And then get this. I'm gonna unpackage that in a bit, but and the whole thing is this. Some guy said to me, Daniel, if you knew the struggle, you would never say things like that. And I said, well, I don't know the struggle because I know how dangerous it is, so I don't mess with it. You're not born with addiction issues. You make the choice to start to mess with that. And then he said this. If you're willing to do that before a fight, young man, and that's something that could be detrimental to you going forward, why wouldn't you want to do something that could help you? That's my philosophy. I could be wrong. I do believe this dude's been cheating his entire life, though. Why not, young man? John, you're cheating, John. You've been cheating your whole life, John, young man. And it's like, dude, here we go. I'm about to dismantle this shit right here. All right, first of all, there's a lot of scientific evidence to back that addiction is a disease. I'm not going to delve into that. And then he's saying people are not respecting me as they should as a champion because of the things he's done. No. People aren't respecting you as the champion because right before you won the vacated title, you lost to that man in a dominant, unanimous decision. What don't you understand about that, man? Like, if Stipe, for some reason, got stripped for the belt and JDS fought, like, I don't know, like Mark Hunt for the belt, and JDS won, people aren't going to view JDS as the real champ. Has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with the fact that he just lost to the person that held the belt. It's simple, man. Like, what don't you get about that? The hate is you're not the real champion. And the story, man, and anybody who was in that, you know what? It would have, if AJ would have won the belt, it would have legitimized the division because we hadn't seen that yet. We didn't know what that looked like, how he would match up. But because DC won and he just got dismantled, we're like, all right, it was just established when you and John fought that you're second best in the world. Now you're considered first best, but that's only because that dude is off the list, not because you superseded him. End the story. No one's trying to discredit anything, man. Like, if anything, people are overcrediting you because you went to the NCAAs, you didn't win. You went to the Olympics, you didn't win. You're getting credit for having opportunities of greatness, but not accomplishing it. And when you face Jon Jones, which is another opportunity of greatness, you didn't accomplish it. So that was that moment. You can't give me a different moment and make it equivalent. The AJ fight after that was not the same thing. That's not, nah, man. So that's about the discredit. And he's saying you don't know the struggle because you wouldn't mess with it to begin with, man. You don't know what people. You can't say that because you don't know what's in people's heads. You can't make decisions for people, man. Like, so, like, you can't make it that simple. You can't say things that are like that. And that's another reason why I don't like this guy. His philosophy is just fucked up. His mindset's fucked up. It's like it's a corny. Even his thoughts and his sayings are corny, man. Like, For real, like, he's just so corny. And he's saying you're not born with addiction issues. Okay, I'd like to see you tell a crack baby he's not born with addiction issues. But anyway. And then he was saying, if you're willing to do that right before a fight, like if you're willing to do something that could help, if you're willing to do something that's detrimental going forward, why wouldn't you do something that could help you? That's my philosophy, he said. That's the stupidest fucking philosophy I have ever heard in my life. One thing is recreational and for pleasure, and the other thing is for performance. Completely other things, man. Like, it's just because Jon Jones did blow doesn't mean he's gonna do steroids. Or just because he does one thing doesn't mean he's open to it all. Nah, man, like, no one said that about Chuck. No one said that about Chuck, bro. Like, dude, Chuck, there were interviews with Chuck fucking, like, nodding off and, like, just blatantly fucked up. Nobody said that about Liddell. Bro, everyone knew Chuck Liddell was, like, this giant party guy. No one said shit about Chuck. I'm not saying that they should have. No, but Jon Jones should be getting that treatment. But anyway, like, they shouldn't just give a fuck. It's Jon Jones, you know what I mean? So he's just trying to pad his loss, man. He's just trying to make an excuse. He's just trying to say he knows within his heart of hearts Jon beat him clean. He knows that. But he's just trying to change the perception. That's all he... Look, didn't he say something about perception, bro? Hold on. Let me see if he said that. Yeah, but his indiscretions and mess-ups have greatly influenced my career, too, in the way I'm perceived. That's a literal excerpt from it. He says it. He's talking about perception. He knows that his perception is an issue, so he's trying to change that. He tried to change it by saying he's this great and he went to the Olympics and all that, and when people were like, dude, get out of here with that. And now he's trying to just straight up shit on Jon Jones. And he's trying to discredit Jon Jones. And that's all his whole game plan, man, is all about his perception. And honestly, man, like, I'm trying to get pumped for this, but I don't know if Daniel's going to show up at fucking UFC 214. I don't know if he's going to show up. Like, I don't have confidence in it because he knows, man. Like, I feel like he knows that's it. He knows it. He knows the day he steps into the cage with Jon Jones is most likely his last day as an active professional fighter. That's the most likely scenario. He knows it. Bob Cook knows it. Luke Rockhold knows it. Cain Velasquez knows it. Everyone. So, man, you's a bitch, DC. That's all I gotta say. Like, you have so much opportunity to win fans over, but you just keep, I hit these points where I'm like, I don't think I could dislike DC anymore. Bro, at the apex was UFC 200 when he did nothing but hold down Anderson Silva. I was physically ill with rage. Because I can't even talk about it, man, because it's like, what kind of bullshit was that? And then what made it worse was the way he was talking after, like, all greasy and all this shit, like, you're gonna boo me when you're drinking your beers and and then you had, like, fucking Ariel Helwani, like, fucking jerking him off and shit like that. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, man, like, it's just, he's just getting out of hand, and I don't even know how real this is. I have to wait, man. I don't think I'm gonna get. I think I'm not gonna truly be looking forward to it until it's fight day. Cause honestly, I don't see anything. I don't think anything could possibly happen to Jon Jones to get him out of there. Now, I'm not trying to jinx this shit. You never know. It is the homie Johnny Bones Jones. But is DC gonna show up? You already know it's Mastermind MMA.